Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Slime Boss here, and welcome to my next Let's Play. I probably just peaked the mic like crazy. Hold on. Alright, well, welcome to my next Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. You might be wondering, why am I playing this game? Because I already did the original Mario Bros. Well, this game is pretty much a full-blown demake remake. The reason why I say demake is because this game suffers from severe, and I mean absolutely severe, I'm peaking so much. Okay. It suffers from severe screen crunch. The game doesn't look as good as the original game. I would say it's a lot more colorful because this game was released on the Game Boy Color, and so they really wanted to emphasize that by pretty much making every game like super colorful. So it's very colorful, very vibrant. I'll tell you that definitely sets it apart from the previous games, or the original game. But this game has just it looks a lot worse, but like it is so much different. They added so much stuff, and it's almost like collection as well, and we'll get into that as time goes on. And when it says deluxe, it really means deluxe, not any of this new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. No. This is an actual deluxe game. It's chock full of content, and I mean that literally. We're gonna check out some of it right now. So we have the records here, and this is just a way to sort of compare your scores, and the scores will become a lot more important later. Obviously, the goal is to fill up that bar, and obviously you want to beat Luigi with 3,000 points. Now, the individual levels scores will be a little bit important later, but just so you know, I'm not going to be going for 100% in this game. I usually do go for 100%, but I'm not going to absolutely do every little thing. Some of these things are just absolutely impossible, and it asks way too much of the player. And it's one of those things of game old, game hard. But in terms of these stickers here, I will be going for everything. So this is the album here. These are basically mini forms of achievements, and you can see there's a few pages here of stickers. So we are 100% going to go through at least the majority of those. I think it's pretty much everything that I can get in this playthrough. And then we have this toy box here, which is a bunch of little things. We can set the date here. I don't think the game processes what year it is, but we'll try here. 2024, and it is currently February. So yeah, you can look at the month there and see that it's actually incredibly accurate. We can mark it. It's oh wow, it's Valentine's Day. There we go. Boom. Because it's actually Valentine's Day today at the time of recording this. Severely dating this video, I can tell you that. There, sure. But you can also notice that you can print this. This game was extra compatible with the Game Boy printer. Like, everything that you do in this game is printable, which is crazy. This is fortune telling, not very much. Again, it's just a toy box just to see random stuff. Oh, unlucky. Storm Ride and Motherly Winds. Try this one. Let's see if you're lucky or not. Oh, hey, lucky. Trade high scores to set new gold. And it also gives you, like, little in-game tips. So, like, one thing, for example, is that one of the multiplayer things, which we'll get into later, is that you can actually exchange scores with the Game Boy Link cable. The other thing is this versus game, which is essentially you versus Boo, but instead of fighting a Boo, you fight another player. And we'll get into you versus Boo a little bit later, but it's just more of, okay, race to the end. You might notice that this kind of inspired a lot of things in Mario Maker, namely the on-off blocks, and then those were obviously translated into Mario Wonder years and years later. And then of course we have challenge mode, which, like I said, again has to do with those scores, and we will have to either look at that a bit later or not look at it at all, because I tell you right now that that shit is impossible. But there you go. This is pretty much along the same lines as the advanced games, and in some instances there's a lot more content here than even the advanced games. There's a lot of replayability. They really emphasized that portability factor, and Nintendo's always been good at that. Like Mario 3D Land, there's like so much content in that game. It's quite crazy, just how much content is in that game. Same thing here. Just they're usually pretty good about like the amount of content that is in the game, and replayability as well. So everything is pretty much the same here. You run, you jump, you collect power-ups, you shoot fireballs, you look up, you look down, except you actually look up now because the screen crunch is just absolutely abysmal here. And yeah, so there you go. That was a level. Pretty much everything else is identical to the original 1985. And in this game, I do have a little bit of cheats on. I do have reverse on. Now, the reason for it is because you must keep the fireball throughout your levels, which I will explain later. Exactly why you want to keep your fireball. One of the reasons is that you want to continuously kill enemies here. Not every enemy, but and like I said, the score is obviously important as well. So if you're going for 100%, I would recommend keeping your fireballs as much as possible, just to shoot as many enemies as possible. That'll rack up your score a lot too. I think you actually get combos as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think we want to, there we go, kill that guy as well. And also you want to kill every enemy type as well, because those will count towards achievements too. And then again, we do want to focus on score somewhat. We aren't going to be able to do everything in regards to that, but score is the thing that actually unlocks things, which is actually surprising because score seems to just absolutely do nothing and stopped having any meaning even all the way back in this game, which you might think is surprising if you played the original 1985 back in 1985. That was kind of like the original replayability, whereas here, in modern day, not so much. It was more so for those arcade games. I'm so bad. It's more so for those arcade style games, because they needed the replayability, because you're only gonna play it based on how many quarters you have, and that's the point. Is you can compare your friends and get the highest score, as much as you can on a single quarter. Now, having it back in the NES days when your gameplay is at home, it doesn't really make quite as much sense now, does it? I will tell you right now, this game is incredibly slippery based on my test playthrough of this. It's quite atrocious, actually. Oops. So maybe you found some enjoyment out of it, especially if you're like one of those if you had parents that limited your time in games, that maybe the high score was something that was for you. But crazily enough, they had yet to remove it from games pretty much up until Mario Wonder. Mario Wonder was the first game to actually stop doing the score system, and hell, even Mario Maker had the score system, and that made even less sense because that game resets your score anyway. So this game actually has a purpose for the score. It actually unlocks, new things as you go along. And you might have saw there that I killed Bowser with a fireball, which is something that I didn't really do in the original game. The original story, essentially, that every Bowser that you fight throughout the 8 worlds in the original game, every Bowser that you fight in the original 8 worlds of the original game, they're fake Bowsers, they're faux Bowsers, if you will. And if you are attentive, they actually reference this in Super Mario 3D Land as well, where there's a lot of references to Mario 1 in that game. And if you defeat Tail Bowser in that game, they turn into Goombas or Koopas or whatever. And this game is no different. This is where it actually originated from. And that and every Bowser that you fight, except for the 8th Bowser at the end, is fake Bowser. Now, the game doesn't tell you that you would earn your achievements, but if you go ahead and head into the album, you'll see that, oh, what is this? Wait a minute. Oh, I guess I went for the fireworks. I didn't even notice that. You can comment. Oh, read the comment. A fireworks show just for you. And you can, of course, print it like I said before. But there's fake Bowsers, and you need to defeat the fake Bowsers. Hence why I am keeping as many fireballs as possible. It's good that we got the fireworks. I didn't even notice that we got the fireworks. If you don't know how to get fireworks, you basically have to match the 2 last digits of your time. And it will, depending on, you know, what digits they are, it'll do that many fireworks. So let's say you get 2 as your last 2 numbers. It'll have 2 fireworks. This one is for getting a mushroom. All right, you got a 1-up mushroom. Oops. So you can see it's pretty much just achievements that you get throughout the game. This one is for defeating a Goomba. You stomped on a Goomba. This one is for defeating a Koopa. Great, you toppled a Koopa Troopa. Now, I don't know if there's one for, like, green, red, and paras. I doubt it. I've killed a para already, and it's not showing up here. And then, let's see here. Why is it not showing? Okay. So yeah, I actually had a source that didn't have every single one, which is very strange. Interesting. So yeah, there's one for every single enemy, I believe. Yeah, Goomba, Blooper, Lackey 2, Cheep Cheep, Hammer Bro, Bullet Bill, Koopa Troopa. Yeah, so it's just one Koopa Troopa. And then alright, I believe, yeah, so this is defeating the first foe Bowser. You blaze the first 4 Bowsers. Well, I haven't. And then if we go ahead and go back to the toy box, we should unlock something new here. There we go. So every time you Mario Bros. What? Okay. Every time you defeat or you complete a Toad, you fill this banner out here. There's different, like, shapes. So that's the Nintendo logo. That's just blank. That's an arrow. That's, you know, Piranha Plants. You know, the world map. And, you know. Then there's a secret mode in the calendar, which we'll explore a little bit later. And then, of course, you can print all of those. This one, since we're here, there's actually a couple of them. I'm not going to get all of them, obviously, but I'm going to go ahead and do another one just in case. I got lucky again. Okay. So, Fortune Teller, you could get Extremely Lucky, which is Princess Peach. You got a Very Lucky, which is Mario. Lucky, which is what we got here, which is Luigi. The one that we got before is Koopa, which is Unlikely. And then the last one is Bowser being extremely unlucky. And then they just give you random tips throughout the game. Alright, so that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that was a lot of information right at the front load. But of course, that happens on every single Let's Play. So if you guys enjoyed this series, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.